Here are 15 things you probably didn't know about Mariah Carey. On March 27, 1970, Mariah was born in Huntington, New York, to Irish-American mother Patricia Hickey, and African-American, Venezuelan father Alfred Roy Carey. What is the meaning of the name Mariah? She was named after the song, They Call the Wind Maria, from the 1951 musical, Paint Your Wagon. So perhaps it was destiny that Carey would go on to become one of the most successful pop stars of all time. Carey takes after her mother, who is a Juilliard-trained opera singer and a vocal coach. Carey reportedly wowed her mom by imitating her operatic singing at just 2 years old. She started vocal lessons when she was 4 and quickly honed her skills so that after graduating high school, she could move to New York City and pursue her dreams. Despite their common talent, Carey and her mother's relationship has been far from perfect. In her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, the singer shares their struggles throughout the years. Patricia once told her, "You should only hope that one day you become half the singer I am." Still, to this day, what she said haunts and hurts me. I don't know if she meant to cut me down to size, or it was just her bruised ego talking. All I know is that those words, that shot out of her mouth, pierced my chest and were buried in my heart, Mariah writes in her memoir. Fact number 2. In high school, she was known for cutting class. During her years at Harborfields High School in Greenlawn on Long Island, Mariah Carey was known by her friends as Mirage, due to the number of times she cut class to work on her music. Carey dropped out of high school and spent her junior and senior years in a beauty school to keep her busy while she figured out how to turn her musical dreams into reality. Although she ultimately dropped out of beauty school, Carey has put her skills to use during the coronavirus pandemic. The singer tweeted a video of her giving her daughter, Monroe, an at-home salon day. She wrote, "Passing time in quarantine. My 500 hours of beauty school came in handy." And yes, Mariah's daughter name is Monroe. And here we go to fact number 3. Carey is slightly obsessed with Marilyn Monroe. Ever since receiving a copy of Norman Mailer's biography of the actress for Christmas as a child, Carey has been obsessed with the actress, she told The Guardian in 2014. So much so that in 1999 Carey bought Monroe's baby grand piano at auction for over $600,000. She also wrote in her new memoir that in place of her abusive family, her only childhood friend was the poster of Monroe hanging on her bedroom wall. Part of her admiration stems from Monroe's impact on women in Hollywood. Marilyn Monroe Productions was the first female-owned production company in Hollywood, she told The Guardian. She paved the way for women in Hollywood, and every single woman owes something to her for that, whether they agree with her image or not. Fact number 4. She worked odd jobs while starting as a singer. Carey performed a variety of jobs as a young adult at 18 years old in New York City, to make ends meet. She worked in a salon as a hostess, hair sweeper and coat checker, like other artists, who are trying to make it in the big city. She also worked as a waitress, but the gig didn't last long. Carey admitted that she hated the job and could never work the cash register properly. Failing remedial math, despite the fact her father was an aeronautical engineer, didn't help her efforts either. Carey went on to explain one more hilarious reason why she and waitressing didn't mix. "No one could remember my name, so I didn't want to always have to explain, 'Oh, Mariah, this is how you pronounce it,' because back then, nobody had that name. So, I would oftentimes make up a name. I would say, my name was like Debbie or something more common, and then I'd forget what name I told that table, so they'd be like, Debbie. And I'm sitting there, like listening to my demo, like not even aware that someone's calling me." Her financial situation was difficult, but she eventually found work as a vocalist in New York City. Carey began singing in nightclubs as a background vocalist and ultimately advanced to performing solos. Fact number 5 tells us how her role as Brenda K. Starr's backup singer led to her landing a record deal. After working odd jobs, Carey finally got her first break and began singing backup vocals for Brenda K. Starr in the late 1980s. Eventually, Starr handed Carey's demo to then chairman and CEO of Sony Music Entertainment Tommy Mottola, who would become Carey's first husband, and the young singer's fate as a pop superstar was sealed. We have to say that Carey has an impressive 5-octave vocal range. But what does that actually mean? Basically, Carey can reach 5 of the 8 octaves in the vocal range. She sings her lowest note, an F-sharp 2, on the Jermaine Dupri song, Sweetheart, and her highest note, a G-sharp 7, on her bop, Emotions. It means she has a vocal range to die for. Fact 6. She won 2 Grammy Awards for her debut album. Mariah Carey finally caught her big break when she attended a CBS Records party, where she met the president of Columbia Records and managed to give him her demo tape. The president took it and was shocked at how good she was and decided to sign her up. Carey's debut album, Mariah Carey, which used simply her name as a title, was released in 1990. The album's 4 lead singles reached the top of the charts. Carey received $80,000 for her first record deal, and later that year, she won 2 Grammy Awards for her debut album, winning the titles of Best Female Artist and Best Female Vocalist, respectively. It was the first, but far from the last award for Mariah Carey. After Mariah Carey's 1994 Christmas song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, ranked #1 on the first Billboard Hot 100 chart of 2020, she became the only artist in history to have #1s in 4 different decades: 1990, 2000, 2010, 2020. Carey sent out a very on-brand celebratory tweet reading, "Yay! We did it, but what's a decade?" In fact, she's the best-selling solo artist of all time. With 19 songs top the Hot 100, she's had more #1 hits than Michael Jackson and Elvis. Only the Beatles have had more #1 hits, with 20. Fact 7. She makes sexy music. Ex-husband Nick Cannon has said he and Carey had sex to the singer's music. She got the "Don't Forget About Us," the "We Belong Together." I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person in the world that listens to Mariah Carey when having sex. It just so happens I'm having sex with Mariah Carey, Cannon told HuffPost in 2013. If I made sexy music, I would put myself on too. Like, I think that builds the ego right there, he continued. The couple, who have 2 children together, married in 2008 after just weeks together, but they split in 2014. They filed for divorce 2 years later. She was married twice. Mariah Carey married her manager Matola in 1993, after the two had a whirlwind romance, despite their age difference, as Mariah was 23 years, while Matola was 44 years. However, the marriage did not last long, as Mariah came to realize that Matola was very controlling and thus making her marriage a nightmare. One night the couple hosted a dinner party and Matola became upset and started shouting and threatening her with a butter knife. Mariah finally decided to leave the marriage and she divorced him. Mariah Carey isn't shy about singing about her relationships. "My All," she said, was about her affair with sports star Derek Jeter, and "Obsessed" is about Eminem. Mariah reportedly reached out to Eminem after his iconic Grammys performance with Elton John, asking the rapper if he wanted to help her out on her Charm Bracelet album. Though the real Slim Shady artist insisted they dated, Mariah maintained that their relationship was strictly professional. Eminem's guest appearance on a Fat Joe song featured yet another shot at Mariah Carey. That resulted in a verbal war between Slim Shady and Nick Cannon, the Nick in question in the lyrics. Fact 8. She has several dogs. Mariah Carey has 8 Jack Russell Terriers. Mariah's dogs are living the high life, from spending £28,000 a year on spa treatments for them, to traveling with her on a private plane, for a 5-star canine holiday, to the opulent Paw Seasons Doggy Hotel in Bristol, where she gave the staff customized daily menus to follow for each of them. They've also joined her on stage, in music videos, and even in the bath, sharing every bit of their mom's luxurious life as possible. In conclusion, Mariah Carey is considered to be one of the most successful female singers in the music industry. Her remarkable vocal range makes her a good singer, as she is able to hit very high notes. Furthermore, her ability to blend different genres from gospel, rhythm and blues and pop. Well deserved indeed. In addition to 5 Grammy Awards, Mariah Carey has won numerous Billboard Music Awards and World Music Awards. Let's admire this unparalleled woman, singer, and actress.